What's up, YouTube? What's up, everybody? Oh, hold on. Let me turn on a light. I forgot my light here. Okay, what's up, everybody? Happy Halloween. Check out my costume. I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I thought it'd be kind of fun to solve some problems in costume. Anyways, welcome back. We are continuing the cram week for the SAT prep here. Uh-oh, my YouTube thing kind of went down. We are continuing to prep for this SAT coming up on Saturday. The way we are doing it is an amazing way. We are able to go through actual live SAT problems from the October SAT, which is the SAT that I took. That's why I have access to the test questions. So again, we're going to keep plowing through the list. We're going to finish the no calculator section today. Let's get in here. So here is my score. We're going to jump into it. And yeah, this is the old one. Hold on, I have to test questions. Here we go. Alrighty. And guys, during this live stream, let me just check over real quick. As I'm going through these problems, definitely make sure to jump in, communicate, ask me questions. Let me know if there's anything you need me to clarify as I'm going through, and I'll be checking that periodically. Okay, here we go. All right, whoops, wrong thing. Here we go. Let's go to math without calculator. And I believe we left off on 11. Let's go to 10 and double check. We did 10, 11. So that's the last one that I think I completed. Let's go to question number 12. Here we go. In the figure above, triangle ABC, triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. What is the value of cosine of E? Now, we talk about cosine, okay? Oops. When we talk about cosine for similar triangles, they're actually going to be identical. So once they say that ABC is similar to DEF, cosine of E, which is this angle, is the same as cosine of B. They're exactly equivalent. So now we got to do is figure out what is cosine of B. Now, if you remember from SOHCAHTOA, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So we've got adjacent 12 over the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is along the side 13. And that's all it is. When they give you trig problems, it's usually pretty straightforward application of the functions. 12 over 13, correct. All right. Next, in the xy plane, the graph of function x squared, blah, 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 has two x-intercepts. What is the distance? Okay, first let's find the x-intercepts. First thing we've got to do is set this guy equal to 0. That's what x-intercepts are. It's where the function equals 0. Now we're getting to factor, okay? And all we need to know is what numbers multiply to 4 and add to 5. That's 1 and 4. You guys can probably hear my voice is still struggling. It's better than yesterday, but it's still not completely back. So I'm dealing with that, but it's getting there. All right, so now I factored it correctly. This means that this whole function equals 0 when x equals -4 for this guy and -1 for that guy. Okay. What is the distance between -4 and -1? It's 1 to -3, 2 to -2. Oh yeah, 1 to -1. Sorry, it's a distance of 3. All right. So the answer should be C. Let's keep going. What are all the values of x that satisfy this equation? Okay, here's how you solve it. First, we see a square root. We want to get rid of that square root. So I'm going to square both sides. And I get 4x equals x minus 3 times x minus 3. We're going to FOIL. 4x equals x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9. Squared minus 6x plus 9. And then let's bring the 4x over. We want to set it equal to 0, right? Whenever we see a quadratic, that's our usual instinct. Set it equal to 0, then factor. So we're subtracting 4x. X squared minus 10x plus 9. And now the question is, can we factor this? And it factors actually to minus 10 plus. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Adds to negative. Oh, yeah. Oops. Sorry. Did that wrong. It factors to negative 9 and negative 1. Because what numbers multiply to 9? Negative 1 and negative 9. And add to negative 10. Okay. Which means that the values that satisfy this are where x equals 1. Right? Whatever number is going to make this go to 0. Whatever number is going to make that go to 0. And 9. But we're not done yet. Okay? Because you might say, hey, it's 1 and 2, which is C. But now we have to go back to the drawing board, to our original equation, and actually plug these in to make sure they work. So first, if I plug in 1, I get 4 times 1, which is 4, equals 1 minus 3. Square root of 4 is 2. This side is negative 2. 1 is out. Now let's plug in 9 and see if that works. 9 times 4 is 36, equals 9 minus 3. Square root of 36 is 6. 9 minus 3 is 6. Boom. So 9 works. So it's 2 only, which is B. Oops. Perfect. Next. Now this is usually the hardest or one of the hardest problems because it's 15 and then after this it goes into the free response. So we got these systems of equations. A is a constant. For which of the following value does A have no solution? You need to know what they're asking here. Okay. What they're asking is for what value of A will these two equations be equivalent? All right. And that's kind of a tricky question because, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that top equation and I'm going to say, I'm going to put it in slope-intercept form. Add 3x to both sides and I get 3x plus 6. Now, for what value of A will this bottom function look like this top function? Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. What am I talking about? Where there's no solution, sorry, it won't look the exact same. It'll have the same slope, but a different y-intercept. Okay. So the bottom one is ax plus 2y equals 4. Subtract ax, subtract ax. 2y equals negative ax plus 4. Divide everything by 2. And get y equals negative a over 2 times x plus 2. Okay. So they already have different y-intercepts. We're good there. Now the question is, we need a different y-intercept but the same slope, meaning these lines have to be parallel. So when the question is when will negative a over 2 equal 3? Because that's the slope of this line. The slopes need to be the same. Let's solve for a. Multiply both sides by negative 2. A equals negative 6. Boom, should be A. Okay, let's move on. A manufacturer shipped units of a certain product to 2 locations. The equation shows the total shipping cost, T in dollars, for shipping C units. Closer location, F units to the further one. So the total shipping cost was $47,000. So T equals 47,000. I'm just plugging and chugging. Don't even know what it's asking yet. And 3,000 units were shipped to the farther location. 3,000 shipped to the farther. Plug it in for F. How many units were shipped to the closer? Boom. Guess what? All we got to do is isolate, solve for C. 12 times 3,000 is 36,000. Subtract 36,000. I get 5C equals 11,000. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. This is no calculator, so can't use a calculator. My trick here is when I divide by 5, I take off a 0 and times 2. So it should be 2200. But you could do it out if you wanted to, long division. Yeah, 2200. All right, sweet. Question 17. A and B are the solutions. What is the value of A minus B? This is very important, and this is super difficult on a free response because you could easily just enter that value of A or B or something and get it wrong because there's no multiple choice to guide you. So let's solve. First thing when we see absolute value, bifurcate into two equations. First one looks the exact same without absolute value. Second one, we keep this the same and we make the 5 negative. Now, we're going to solve by subtracting 1, 2x equals 4. Divide by 2, x equals 2. Here we go, we subtract 1, 2x equals negative 6, divide by 2, x equals negative 3. So what is A minus B? Absolute value. So it doesn't matter which one's A or B. It'll be the same either way. 2 minus negative 3, right, becomes positive 5. Yeah. All right, next. Let's just see if I got any questions yet. Oh, hey, what's up? You're asking about the reading. So here's the deal. I don't really practice for the reading because the main reason why I'm taking the test is for the math. But the realistic answer is if you want to prepare for the verbal section, practice, especially if you're a few days out. If you're uncomfortable there, do as many reading passages and grammar passages and all that in the days leading up. Super, super important, super helpful. And I think that when it comes to individual learning styles, to try and use tricks at the last minute, like only like underline these words or these types of things, unless you practiced it, don't try and implement some crazy strategy. Make sure that you're reading in the way that you're comfortable and feel it out. Develop a methodology that you're comfortable with. That'd be my advice. Juan purchased an antique that had a value of $200 at the time of purchase. I'm losing my voice. Each year, the value increased by 10%. The estimated value of the antique in dollars 2 years after the purchase can be represented by 200A. Okay, so here's when it's purchased. Then it's another value. Then it's another value. What is the value of A? Okay, let me show you how to tackle this. 10% more. 10% of 200 is 20, okay? So it becomes 220. Next, it becomes 10% of this. Okay, remember, we take 10% of something, we just move the decimal over one spot. So 10% of 220 is 22. So I add 22 to this value, and I get 242, okay? Which means that 242 equals 200A. So to solve, divide both sides by 200. And this is actually like 121 divided by 100. Again, it's no calculator, which simplifies to 1.21. And that's what A equals. Yep, 1.21. All right, what is the value of 5x plus 5y? This is actually pretty easy if you don't try and solve for x and y. I'll show you why. All you need to do is this. Add the systems of equations. We get 5x plus 5y equals 2500, and you're done. Very nice. I'd call that medium. Yeah, I'd call that medium. Okay. Last but not least, u plus t equals 5. For you see, so can you factor this? Yeah, it's a difference of squares. Difference of squares factors to y minus t, u minus t times u plus t. Okay, the square root of this minus the square root of this times the square root of this plus the square root of this, which is what I got. So be comfortable with factoring difference of squares. They always ask about difference of squares. Well, now look how easy this problem is. I wouldn't even call this a hard problem. right? Oops, u plus t equals 5. And u minus t equals 2. Well, it's a big multiplication problem, right? 2 times 2 times 5 equals 20. And there it is. Okay? So now we've gone through this entire portion of the October SAT. Now tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing the calculator section. So I'm going to be doing the first half of the calculator section, and then Friday I'll be doing the second half. Plus I'll be doing a presentation where I'm going to be giving you 5 insanely helpful tips that you can implement immediately to boost your score by a solid 50 points. If you're not doing these already, it's so helpful, these 5 tips. So make sure to definitely tune in tomorrow, but absolutely tune in on Friday for all this stuff. I don't see any more questions from you guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest my voice. If you have any questions, leave questions in the comment section. For all of you guys taking the SAT this Friday, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure to click that subscribe button. And please click the like button too. That helps me immensely. Hope you found this useful. See you guys next time. Take it easy.